Hello and welcome to Math Matters. I'm Miss Whitehead Tambani and today we are going to learn ways to be a problem solver in communicating our ideas. What is the same in both boxes? Sometimes there is more than one answer to a question. It is the same because both sides have a dog and a rabbit. It is the same because both sides have two animals. It is the same because both sides have a dog on top and a rabbit on the bottom. Can you think of anything else that is the same? Now let's take a look at what is different in both boxes. It is different because the first side has a dog with his tongue out and the second side has a dog laying down. It is different because the animals on the first side have their ears down and the animals on the second side have their ears up. It is different because we can see 3 eyes on the first side and 4 eyes on the second side. Can you think of anything else that is different? What is the same in both pictures? It is the same because they both have counters. It is the same because they both have 4 counters. It is the same because they both use a 10 frame. What is different in both pictures? It is different because the top 10 frame has 4 blue counters and the bottom 10 frame has yellow counters. It is different because of the way they show 4. The blue counters have 4 on the top row to show 4, and the yellow counters have 2 on the top row and 2 on the bottom row to show 4. Today is your chance to think about how communicators write to share ideas. Communicators listen and ask questions so they can understand. When I have you work out the math story problem later, you can use your counters, paper, and crayons to communicate your thinking about the story. Today I'm going to have you solve some story problems. Before we get started, I want you to get some paper, crayons, and 10 counters, and then come back to me. I'll count to 100 by 10s while you get your materials. 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, 80, 90, 100. 1, 2, 3, come back to me. Just put your materials next to you while you listen to me read the story problem. What do you notice about this picture? Maybe you notice the blue gloves, or the cookie sheet with cookies on it, or the shelf behind the lady. Picture in your mind what is happening while I read the story to you. Maddie made some cookies for Shaylin. What do we know so far? Right, Maddie made some cookies for Shaylin. Do we know how many cookies she made? No, the story just says some cookies. Keep picturing the story in your mind while I read. Maddie made some cookies for Shaylin. On her way to Shaylin's house, Maddie ate some cookies. What new information did we find out? On her way to Shaylin's house, Maddie ate some cookies. Picture in your mind what is happening while I read the story to you. Maddie made 6 cookies for Shaylin. On her way to Shaylin's house, Maddie ate some cookies. What new information did we find out? Right, Maddie made 6 cookies for Shaylin. Keep picturing in your mind what is happening while I read the story to you. Maddie made 6 cookies for Shaylin. On her way to Shaylin's house, Maddie ate 2 cookies. What new information did we find out? On her way to Shaylin's house, Maddie ate 2 cookies. Picture in your mind what is happening while I read the story to you. Maddie made 6 cookies for Shaylin. On her way to Shaylin's house, Maddie ate 2 cookies. How many cookies does she have left for Shaylin? What new information did we find out? We have a question. We get to figure out how many cookies she has for Shaylin now. The first thing you need to figure out is which number mat you should make. A number 6 mat or a number 3 mat. Remember what the story said. Maddie made 6 cookies. So the total number of cookies is 6. Right, the 6 mat. I want you to get your paper and crayon and draw a mat with 6 boxes on it. I'll wait while you do this. Let's go back to what the story problem says. Maddie made 6 cookies for Shaylin. How many cookies did Maddie make for Shaylin? Right, 6. Either draw 6 cookies on the number mat or place 6 counters on the number mat. I'll wait for you to do this. Let's read the problem again. Maddie made 6 cookies for Shaylin. We put 6 cookies on our mat. Next it says, on her way to Shaylin's house, Maddie ate 2 cookies. What do we need to do now? Right, we need to take 2 cookies off the mat for the 2 cookies Maddie ate. If you used counters, you just take 2 off the mat. If you drew cookies, you will want to put an X across 2 cookies. I'll wait for you to do this. Your mat should look like the first one with the 2 cookies crossed off, or the second mat with 2 cookies missing. Okay, let's go back to the story problem to see what the next step is. Maddie made 6 cookies for Shaylin. On her way to Shaylin's house, Maddie ate 2 cookies. How many cookies does she have left for Shaylin? So if we had 6 and she ate 2, how many are left? The mat tells us there are 4 left. 6 take away 2 leaves 4 cookies for Shaylin. You did a great job with that problem. Now I'm going to have you solve one on your own. What do you notice about this picture? Maybe you notice the people in the windows, the balloon in the back, or maybe you notice the plants. This problem is going to be about the plants in the window of the tall building we just looked at. To solve the problem, you can use your paper, crayons, counters, number mats, or any other way you want. Ready? Here is the problem. Picture in your mind what is happening while I read the story to you. John has 5 plants. 2 plants fell on the floor. How many plants does John have now? I'm going to give you some time to figure out the problem now. Show me how you solved the problem. Everyone did a great job showing how 5 plants take away the 2 plants means John has 3 plants now. Mathematicians can communicate their ideas in many ways. Take a moment to think about yourself as a mathematician and communicator. Did you write to share your ideas? Were you able to listen and wonder what questions to ask so you can understand? Take a moment to think of what you could do to be a better communicator. In today's episode of Math Matters, we learned ways to be a problem solver and communicating our ideas. Try to make and solve story problems where you can take objects away with your family today. Make sure to communicate how you solve the problems. I'm Miss Whitehead Tembani. I hope you have a great day and keep on counting.